Hi, and welcome to the 10 Tampa Bay News Week in Review, your essential weekly news roundup. I'm Courtney Robinson. Over the next 30 minutes, we are bringing you important and in-depth stories from across Tampa Bay. We start with uncertainty in Mexico following the Mexican government's killing of the head of the Jalisco cartel. This video from Tuesday shows burned vehicles and trailers littering highways in western Mexico. Many American tourists were stuck in Mexico as airlines delayed and canceled flights. 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Annie Krall shows you what happened last weekend and how Tampa travelers were caught in the chaos.
Yeah, everyone has been super worried, and I'm assuring them that they're okay, that we are okay.
Over the last several days, unrest in Mexico has led to dozens of deaths.
It was high anxiety.
Nemesio Ruben Oseguera Cervantes was one of the most wanted drug lords in the world. His death led to property damage and panicked travelers running through one of Mexico's busiest airports, Guadalajara International.
On Sunday, the U.S. State Department issued a shelter-in-place advisory for Americans in Mexico to find a safe place to stay, not to mention to try and minimize any unnecessary travel. But traveling and getting home safely is exactly what people were trying to do 2 days later, regardless of the unrest.
Including Raymond Garcia, whose flight was delayed multiple times out of Puerto Vallarta.
I understand the situation. I'm a patient person. I do want to get home. I feel like I'm getting sick of some sort, so I would like to get home. And I've just been kind of doing work while I'm here, just waiting it out.
After his vacation with friends took an unexpected turn, Garcia says Tuesday is more calm.
They're cleaning up the different businesses that have been burnt. A lot of cars, buses all over the city. They're starting to move those out of the way.
Most Mexican airports are operating normally now, according to the State Department. Aviation expert Mark Weinkrantz says an increased military presence should be expected to protect tourism.
Well, if you're in Mexico, you want to get out. If they tell you it's safe, it's time to go. Will this situation improve over time? We can hope, but we have no control.
Annie Krall, 10 Tampa Bay News.
There are a number of questions right now about a deadly gun battle between the Cuban military and 10 people on a boat registered in Florida this week. Some have ties to the Tampa Bay area. The Cuban Ministry of Foreign Affairs says that it happened Wednesday about a mile off the coast of northern Cuba, east of Havana, about 100 miles south of the Florida Keys. Cuban officials claim the group entered territorial waters, and when border guards approached, the boat's crew started shooting. They returned fire, killing 4 people and wounding 6 others. The ministry says those 6 others on that boat told them that they had intentions of carrying out an infiltration of Cuba for terrorist purposes. They also claim they found assault rifles, guns, homemade explosive devices, and bulletproof vests. The U.S. government has not verified any of Cuba's claims. On Friday, 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Angelicia Bruton spoke to community members about what they say needs to happen now.
We have the 3 flags in front of in front. They are halfway because it's a way to demonstrate that what they did.
At Casa Cuba, members mourn the 4 people killed in a speedboat shooting off the coast of Cuba.
The Cuban flag is our flag, and it's our symbol, it's our nationality.
The organization, known for its community outreach and support, says the tragedy has deeply impacted Cuban families here. Members say 2 of the men on the boat were from the Tampa Bay area, and one of the victims, Michelle Ortega Casanova, was a close friend.
His daughter is 8 months pregnant right now, and this has taken, she's kind of, going through a lot.
Cuba officials claim a passenger opened fire on a Cuban vessel, wounding its commander and prompting return fire. The government alleges those on board were armed and attempting to enter the country for what it described as terrorist purposes.
He didn't go there to fight, he didn't go there to put bombs or to kill people. He went there just to try to liberate.
But groups like these that go in boats armed with guns and reportedly Molotov cocktails, we don't see that as helping.
Manny Ramirez is part of Cuban Americans for Cuba, a group that advocates for Cuban people.
Scary because historically this kind of thing has led to only kind of harsher policies on Cuba.
Both groups say the focus should be peace.
Because Cuba is really losing the ability to get oil, there's all kinds of impacts. Hospitals aren't able to keep the lights on. We call for peace and dialogue.
Angelicia Bruton, 10 Tampa Bay News.
A tragic case out of Manatee County as deputies investigate a believed murder-suicide in Lakewood Ranch. Sheriff's deputies say they found a mother and her 2 children dead inside of a house in a gated community on Thursday night. That house is on Pavia Way. As 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Miguel Octavio showed you on Friday, the investigation started with the father calling for a welfare check.
Total surprise and shock.
Behind the gated Lake Club community in Lakewood Ranch, crime scene tape and law enforcement surround one home.
It's a family community, like we were saying, with small kids. It really hits you hard when you hear about that kind of stuff happening.
The sheriff's office says a mother killed her 14-year-old son and 11-year-old daughter before taking her life.
I can tell you that this is a violent scene.
Spokesperson Randy Warren says they were all found dead in separate rooms.
This is a horrible, horrible thing for the deputies to have to witness.
Investigators say they're still looking into the timeline and a motive, adding they've never had calls for service to this home.
We really don't know what led up to that. It's horrible to even imagine what would have been going through the mind of this mother.
Neighbor Paul Hinney says the neighborhood is private, full of snowbirds, and crime is far from what would ever happen here.
No instances like this in the last 6 years that we've lived here, so it's a unbelievable situation.
That was Miguel Octavio reporting. In a statement, the Lake Club at Lakewood Ranch said that their hearts go out to this family and all of those affected during this incredibly difficult time. We'll let you know if the sheriff's office does release any more information. A family is renewing calls for justice, putting up billboards like this one right here to find answers in the murder of Brian Shook on July 21st, 1994. Brian was found dead, beaten and stabbed just off Caracas Street in Seminole Heights. No one has been charged, and his family refuses to give up. On Wednesday, 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Kristen Barbarisi showed you their fight.
This stretch of 50th Street near Adamo Drive holds painful memories for Brian Shook's family. It's near where his truck was found in 1994 after his murder. Now, his wife and mother have put up this billboard, turning the roadway into a public plea for answers.
I really didn't think that this was going to go on for 32 years.
Who murdered Brian Shook? It's the question Lauren and Barbara Shook have carried with them for more than 3 decades.
The person that did this took a loving husband, father, hardworking man, and left his family with only memories.
And now they're asking you.
There's not going to be a stop to it. We need answers.
2 billboards.
I see my life right there.
One along Nebraska Avenue near where the father of 3 was found beaten and stabbed on July 21st, 1994. The other close to the area where his truck was discovered days later.
If anything else, they'll look at it and maybe they'll somehow or another realize or recognize or remember something that happened many years ago.
For Lauren and Barbara, life has kept moving even when the case didn't.
You have children to raise, you have a job to do, you have to move on in that respect, but you're also back here.
But they refuse to let hope or Brian's memory fade.
Enough. Come forward and ease your own conscience.
And no matter how long it takes, this wife and mother will never give up.
His name is Brian Keith Shook, Sr. That is who he is. And he has been and always will be our life.
The family says no tip is too small. If you have any information, we have details about how to contact the cold case unit on our website, 10tampabay.com. Reporting in Tampa, Kristen Barbarisi, 10 Tampa Bay News.
Dropping checks in the mail to pay bills is turning into a costly mistake for some people in Manatee County. On Wednesday, 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Andy Payton explained how thieves are washing checks and draining bank accounts.
It's one of the most trusted ways to pay a bill.
Done that for my whole life, mailing things in the mail.
So much so that John Lucker
yeah, I'd say.
Didn't even think twice about it.
I'd say. Seems like a rather small amount of money to go to jail for a good long time.
That is until his bank called.
They asked me, did you cash a check for $8,149.84? And I said, yes, I did. But did you write it? Did you write it to somebody named Sotero Nino? And I said, no, I did not.
It's a similar story to what happened to Ingrid Green.
My account had been cleaned out of almost $300,000.
And as 10 Tampa Bay News has learned, hundreds of others here in the Lakewood Ranch area who have placed a check in the mail only to find it stolen, washed, and addressed to someone else.
Really kind of shakes you because, you need to trust the post office. And so I was just astonished that this had happened.
Neither the Manatee County Sheriff's Office nor the United States Postal Service commenting on specifics, but telling us tonight they are actively investigating a string of incidents in the Lakewood Ranch area, leaving John feeling like one of the lucky ones.
They stopped the clearing of the check, and I got my money back.
But still has him thinking twice before walking back to his mailbox again.
I'm not taking any chances this time.
In Lakewood Ranch, Andy Payton, 10 Tampa Bay News.
And here are ways that you can protect your money. First, simple, avoid mailing a check if you can. Consider paying digitally or using a transfer system. Now, if you must mail it, USPS says don't drop it in a mailbox unattended overnight. They say that is when most mail crimes take place. On Thursday, civil rights groups rallied over measures in the Florida legislature they say will kick thousands of U.S. citizens off of voter rolls. The legislation would ban some photo IDs from being used at the polls to confirm identity, including student and neighborhood association IDs. As 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Chris Hurst explains, proponents say it's to prevent non-citizens from voting.
This is the most precious system that we have in America. Why not protect it? Why not make it better?
Citing election integrity, supporters of House Bill 991, which passed the House yesterday, worry non-citizens are voting in our elections. Despite little documented evidence, it routinely happens.
What safeguards are in place to ensure eligible voters are not erroneously flagged or delayed so close to an election?
Critics say it's an attempt to force potentially thousands of low-income, senior, and student voters to go through more red tape to vote ahead of the midterms.
And so there is a coordinated, well-funded, nationwide effort to keep certain people from voting.
But the House bill sponsor says people will only need to provide more documentation when registering or updating a registration if state agencies can't prove citizenship.
We provide due process to any persons on the voter rolls who are flagged that might not be eligible.
Still, voting rights groups say another provision to prohibit public college and university IDs is meant to suppress the younger vote.
It is basically a poll tax through paperwork. Non-citizen voting is already illegal and rare in Florida, and existing safeguards are in place.
Floridians want election integrity.
Citing recent polls, defenders say the people are on their side.
They want to ensure that only U.S. citizens vote.
Chris Hurst, 10 Tampa Bay News.
Both bills must pass both the House and Senate before being sent to the governor's desk for his signature. A proposed new home for the Tampa Bay Rays cleared a major hurdle on Tuesday. The governor and cabinet approved transferring 22 acres of state land to Hillsborough College to build a new stadium. It's property on the Dale Mabry campus, which you see right here. 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Kristen Barbarisi looks into what this means moving forward.
This is the vision, a $2.3 billion, 31,000-seat Rays stadium built here on the Hillsborough College campus. Today, the state approved transferring the land needed to pursue it.
To the Board of Trustees of Hillsborough.
At the meeting of the governor and cabinet, members voted to convey approximately 22 acres to the college and release deed restrictions so leaders can move forward with negotiations. Governor Ron DeSantis said the site is ready for the transformation.
That's going to allow them to have a reinvigorated and reimagined campus, and also connecting some of their students to all the great things that are going to be happening around them.
The Florida Attorney General said redevelopment benefits go beyond baseball.
What's today largely just a bunch of parking lots will be completely renovated to a live, work, entertain district that, is going to have significant economic benefit to the state.
Under a non-binding memorandum already approved by trustees, the college would retain land for new academic buildings and lease the remainder to the Rays for at least 99 years. If no stadium is built within 5 years, the property can revert to state control. The governor has repeatedly stressed the state will not finance stadium construction. Still, Tallahassee could play a supporting role. The Senate's proposed budget includes $50 million to help relocate college facilities.
My view is rather than pour money into rehabbing old buildings, why don't you reimagine it in a good way?
County leaders are in negotiations and already debating whether public dollars, including revenue from the voter-approved community investment tax, should help cover the remaining costs.
There's going to be a lot of other hurdles that need to go. I know HCC is going to be working with the organization. I know the organization is going to be working with the city and county, and we'll see how all that plays out.
That was Kristen Barbarisi reporting. In a statement, the team thanked the governor and the Florida cabinet. They said, quote, "This is undoubtedly a big moment for Tampa Bay, and the Rays are fully in this moment to bring this vision to life and serve our region for generations to come. They're aiming to have this stadium and mixed-use development open by 2029. Right now, thousands of Floridians living with HIV could soon lose access to life-saving medication. On Wednesday in Tallahassee, leaders held a hearing after the state issued emergency rules to move forward with cuts to the AIDS to Drug Assistance Program. 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Miguel Octavio shares how patients are reacting.
With just days to go, Michael Rayner is worried.
I'm a little calmer now, but like many of us, we're just completely furious.
Diagnosed with HIV in 1996, now a program that's helped him gain access to life-saving medication will be no more for some come Sunday.
Angry, fearful, lost, and they don't know where they're going to turn to right now.
The Florida Department of Health is cutting eligibility for its AIDS drug assistance program. Only those with the lowest incomes may have affordable access to drugs.
My reaction was, what are we going to do?
Dr. Bob Wallace has been treating patients with HIV and AIDS for more than 40 years.
I lost over 600 patients between 85 and 1995. When you start seeing things like this that pull away what patients have been comfortable with, it's unfair.
Before, patients earning up to 400% of the federal poverty level qualified for assistance, but now only those at 130% can. That's just more than $20,000 a year for a single person.
It's a really, really serious issue.
Surgeon General Dr. Joseph Latipo says the cuts are needed because of a $120 million budget shortfall, citing the end of Affordable Care Act's tax credits and rising healthcare premiums. But some dispute it.
It's just outrageous.
For now, Rayner says he has concerns for himself and the estimated 16,000 Floridians relying on the program.
It was a setback, but we're still pressing on.
In St. Pete, Miguel Octavio, 10 Tampa Bay News.
Hillsborough County high schools hope to increase student safety and health with new AI technology to stop teen vaping. 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Angelicia Bruton shows you the system in place at Bloomingdale High School and what happens if students are caught vaping.
When students walk into Hillsborough County High School bathrooms, they can expect to see these sensors that detect environmental changes. This comes as Hillsborough County Schools is cracking down on teen vaping.
It's become a growing trend in the lives of our students.
Bloomingdale High School Principal Marcos Rodriguez says now it's easier to monitor.
Vape detected, security notified. Vape detected, security notified.
Rodriguez says data shows these incidents often happen in bathrooms.
I would definitely say during lunchtime is probably the biggest time it used to be. When they go to the bathroom, now we only have like 4 people in there at a time because our APs monitor it, but it used to be mass amount of people in there. Now it's not anymore, so it's good.
And now sensors are in all Bloomingdale High School bathrooms.
And as it detects activity in the restroom, it will send a push notification to whoever's on that response team to be notified to respond.
Here's a look at reported vaping incidents to law enforcement from 2024 to 2025 in Tampa Bay area schools. According to the Florida Department of Education's report, Pinellas County had the highest with 1,400 cases, Sarasota County with the fewest at 31, and Hillsborough County reported 234.
Pursuant to the statute, it's a $25 fine or 16 hours of community service. It's the required completion of the program, anti-tobacco program, and it's payment of court costs 90 days.
Hillsborough County Schools says these sensors will be in all of their high schools by the end of May. The sensors don't record, but can detect 16 different environmental changes.
As far as vaping, it's a matter of also learning the airflows. So every bathroom has different airflows.
Angelicia Bruton, 10 Tampa Bay News.
We did reach out to several other school districts in our area to see if they have vaping sensors. Hernando County says they're already using this. Polk and Sarasota counties told us that they're exploring vendor options. Tuesday morning's cold temperatures did not stop volunteers and divers from plunging into the chilly Hillsborough River to protect one of Tampa's most important waterways. 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Eric Glasser shows you what they found and why organizers say this effort is paying off.
Well, it was a cold start here along the Hillsborough River, but beneath the surface, a lot of work was getting done. Scuba divers with the Tampa Police Department teamed up with the city's green team and Keep Tampa Bay Beautiful for their annual river cleanup.
It was cold, yes.
Divers stayed in the bay for nearly 2 hours, searching by feel, not sight, as visibility was near zero.
Just because of the soot that was down there, so we could only see about a foot or so.
Divers pulled out plenty of small debris, beer cans, beads, and plastic, but also some larger items, among them electric scooters, a bicycle, construction cones, even a table and chairs.
I would say it probably happens, unfortunately, when they're under the influence.
Back on shore, members of the city's green team carefully picked through the larger items, making sure any small creatures or critters that had attached themselves could be safely returned to the bay.
And any living species back to its natural habitat.
For people visiting the area, the scene raised some eyebrows, but once tourists learned what was happening, reactions quickly changed.
I think that's pretty awesome that they do that, and that's probably why this city is so beautiful.
All of the items recovered today will be documented before being properly disposed of. Organizers say they actually pulled less trash from the water this year than in the past.
First, you're getting 100 scooters. It's progressively gotten way better as we've done this every single year.
Organizers tell me they will be back out here again next year, usually a couple of weeks after Gasparilla, for another deep cleanup of the bay. In the meantime, the city's green team and Keep Tampa Bay Beautiful hold monthly surface cleanups, removing floating debris, and they are always looking for volunteers willing to lend a hand. In Tampa, Eric Lasser, 10 Tampa Bay News.
And it is awesome to see fewer scooters in the river this year. We're told that could be tied to operators now charging hefty fines to renters who do not return them to their proper location. Strawberry farmers spent Tuesday night spraying water on their crops to help protect them from the cold. It's been a hard season so far, as frost and freezes have reduced the amount of local fruit in grocery stores. But they're getting some good news on another threat: invasive pests. As 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Chris Hurst explains, researchers say good bugs can kill the bad ones.
The strawberry industry, particularly in Florida, has two major pests.
University of Florida entomologist Alan Busulwa says berry growers are constantly combating a species of spider mite and this slender insect called a chili thrip.
It's invasive from Southeast Asia, and it has been a problem for some time in the strawberry fields.
They're highly resistant to pesticides and damage the fruit, turning it brown and unsellable.
Practically speaking, a lot of our growers, especially the organic strawberry growers, do not have a lot of pest management tools at their disposal.
So Busulwa experimented with different species of insects called predator mites and found one that will feast on both the spider mite and the chili thrip. The Californicus predator mite actually provides a solution because it can feed on both thrips pests as well as spider mite pests effectively. The news comes as growers have lost $300 million worth of strawberries from this year's harsh winter, so the predator mite could help increase the bottom line moving forward.
We still can do something to help our growers. We can still innovate and solve problems that our growers are actually facing on a day-to-day basis.
Chris Hurst, 10 Tampa Bay News.
And you can celebrate our local strawberries. The Florida Strawberry Festival is going on right now in Plant City. During the 91st year, there's plenty of fresh events. On Thursday, 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Eric Lasser showed you around.
Well, each year the Florida Strawberry Festival brings something new to the table, and in 2026, that is literally true. This year's event is serving up 21 brand new foods, from the viral strawberry Dubai chocolate funnel cake.
Delicious.
To savory new treats like strawberry barbecue egg rolls and strawberry apple fries.
This is something that you're not going to find really anywhere.
Of course, it's not just about the food. The festival's adding a brand new sound stage to give visitors a better concert experience, and new comfort zones that include more restrooms and shade areas, too.
Well received so far, so we're ready to kick this festival off and get it rolling.
A focus on safety comes with the debut of the new Berry Safe Kids initiative, a family safety program where parents can pick up QR-coded wristbands to help quickly reunite with lost children.
Just peace of mind in case they run off and we lose track of them, which we hopefully don't.
And then there's the revamped Midway, boasting more than 80 rides and attractions, including the America 250 wheel, which is the largest portable observation wheel in the world, with views up to 14 miles.
It was comfortable up there. Eyes flying, you can see everything.
For those with a taste for tradition, there's daily livestock shows, youth programs, parades, and, of course, those culinary classics.
Strawberry shortcake, corn dog, food.
The festival runs today through March 8th with advanced ticket discounts available and special days like Senior Day and Ride-a-thon Thursdays to help offer some extra savings. In Plant City, Eric Lasser, 10 Tampa Bay News.
And for a complete look at everything taking place at this year's Strawberry Festival, just head to our website, 10tampabay.com. There you'll find a Strawberry Festival guide, including fair hours, concert dates, ride, food vendors, and some of those discount dates and special events that Eric mentioned as well. When the Olympics ended with gold for both of the USA hockey teams, the celebrations lasted for days. As 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Annie Krall explains, these wins are also inspiring future Olympians.
Whether it's Megan Keller, who scored the golden goal to beat Canada and win Team USA the gold medal after a 3-3 overtime matchup, or Captain Hillary Knight, both of those women have used this ice in Wesley Chapel to become champions.
They both trained out of this facility for about a year when we first opened up, and they flew out to South Korea, got business done, and came back actually. And what's one of the cool things is they ended up coming back and sharing the gold with everyone here in this community.
Clearing the way for other players like those on the Tampa Bay Crunch. It's the largest youth girls competitive travel ice hockey program in our area, ranging in ages from 8 and under to 18, and offering teams for boys and girls, emphasizing excellence regardless of gender, as American Jake Gensel and Canadian Brandon Hagel, Lightning teammates, faced off in their gold medal match.
When we first opened up the building in 2017, we actually saw the USA hockey registration in the area increase by about, I want to say it was about 100%, which is really awesome. But specifically for female hockey players, that was somewhere around the 600 to 700% range.
As we look to the future, don't forget history was made in Milan. Layla Edwards became the first African-American woman to play on an Olympic hockey team, plus to win a gold medal. Part of Team USA's defense, the 6'1" senior, is typically a forward for the University of Wisconsin. Edwards has already helped the Badgers win 2 national championships. The 22-year-old now pushing to make sure that even if she's the first to win a gold medal, she won't be the last. Reporting in Wesley Chapel, Annie Krall, 10 Tampa Bay News.
I can't wait to see the Olympians here in Tampa Bay. Thank you so much for watching this weekend review. Be sure to keep it right here on the 10 Tampa Bay News app for the latest information that impacts your life.